Welcome back, everybody, to the Raider D podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the victory over the Green Bay Packers and how we were able to pull that game out. There are some serious critiques that we're going to go over, but breaking news, we are talking about Hunter Renfrow may be going to the Carolina Panthers in exchange for a really good defensive end slash linebacker. Who may be making that trade. Apparently, Carolina is definitely in need of a receiver for their star rookie quarterback, and they already have a pretty good defense, so they can give up an edge rusher because they have a few of them. This will definitely help us out, help out Max Crosby. Now, Malcolm Kuntz has been doing a pretty decent job, but he is not an elite pass rusher, and he's just not the long-term answer for the right side defensive end. Max Crosby does what Max Crosby does, and if we have somebody that can at least get 9 or 10 sacks a season opposite of Max, that is really going to change the entire dynamic of what the Raiders can do out there on the field, because the defense, game by game, other than the Buffalo Bills game, the defense has really started to step up. They have really started to coalesce, and I think that they're starting to buy into Patrick Graham's defense. I think they're starting to coalesce around each other, and they're just playing team ball really, really well, even though we really don't have any superstars outside of Max Crosby out there. Now, Marcus Peters was a superstar. He's not anymore. He's old now, so he's just a name. But, you know, he did have a pretty big play in that Green Bay game where he did pop a ball up, which allowed our linebacker Spillane to get his second interception of the night, which was really good. However, the offense still looks atrocious, and that offensive line is horrible, guys. Absolutely nightmarish horrible. I mean, God, man, even Colton Miller he let a couple of go, right? That he shouldn't have let go. And so on the other side of the ball, there's just no pass protection, whether it's Jimmy Garoppolo. And let's get on Jimmy Garoppolo for a second. Despite the fact that there's no pass protection for him, so I can understand him being a little bit antsy and wanting to do these checkdowns, wanting to get rid of the ball, not wanting to get 7 sacks on him. But he has no desire to throw the ball more than 10 yards. And he doesn't even really want to try and push the ball to our star receiver, Davante Adams. And Davante Adams, he even said it at the end of the game, that, you know, if you're just going to keep throwing it the way you're throwing, I'm only going to catch 22 catches for the entire season. It doesn't matter. And Aaron Rodgers went on a show today, and he said the same thing. The Las Vegas Raiders are using Davante Adams wrong. There is nobody in the NFL like Adams. He is always open, even when he doesn't seem to be open. Now, that's easier said than done due to the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo does not have an offensive line to protect him, and we can't seem to get the running game going. Well, why is that? Last year, why did Josh Jacobs have 1,600 rushing yards, lead the league, MVP in running backs, but he can barely get 40, 50 yards per game this year? Why is that? Could it be that there's been a change at quarterback? Because for all of you Derek Carr haters, and I'm not like Derek Carr super fan or anything, but there was one thing Derek Carr would do, and he would push the ball 3 or 4 times a game, 40 yards, 30 yards, 35 yards, right? Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think is yet to throw the ball over 30 yards. Not one time. All season. And here's the thing. Defenses know that Jimmy's not going to throw the ball deep. And so I was watching the Packers game, and I'm telling you, they had push, like all of their defense were up on the line. Their linebackers were just crowding that line of scrimmage, and they were getting in, slipping through the cracks, getting to Josh Jacobs before he could even get going. And this is the problem. This is the main problem of the offense. Jimmy Garoppolo looks scared in the pocket. He's dancing. He's not setting his feet. I mean, his feet are bouncing around like a little jackrabbit. It's insane to watch. He looks so nervous and so uncomfortable in that pocket. Now, either we need to make a change at quarterback, and I honestly think that we do. I think at this point we've seen enough of Jimmy G. I don't think he's going to change. And the fact that we don't have a rock solid offensive line like he had in San Francisco to keep him protected and make him feel comfortable and run that West Coast offense and the 10 and 12-yard dunks, and then just rely on the running back because we have such a good offensive line that the running back can just get open and get 10 yards per carry. Since we don't have that, Jimmy's not going to be efficient in this offense. I think it is time. Just go for it. Aiden O'Connell, let's see if you can be who you were in the preseason in the regular season. Now I know it's two different games between the preseason and the regular season, and if we throw Aiden O'Connell in here now, it could be detrimental to his long-term health in the NFL. That's fine, but it's better than what we're getting right now, because even though we beat the Green Bay Packers, and I mean, oh my goodness, our head coach, and I'm kind of going off on a rant here, but I'm sorry. Our head coach, Josh McDaniels, did everything possible to lose us this game. Everything possible. From his play calling to the fact that at the halftime, we have 2 minutes left, we're going to get the ball back. He doesn't call a timeout where we would have had the ball with a timeout and a minute 45. Instead, he lets it run all the way down to 45 seconds. So he can save a second timeout, which made no sense whatsoever. That was easy. We could have put another field goal on, maybe even a touchdown with that much time. And then at the end of the game, like, I just don't understand what he's thinking. Green Bay had to score a touchdown no matter what. So kicking a field goal, or attempting to kick a field goal, because we didn't even get it. The sniper actually missed a good one. The one that he had blocked earlier, that wasn't his fault. It got blocked. It is what it is. The second one was his fault. He shanked it a little bit to the right. But neither here nor there. That wouldn't have mattered because Green Bay was going to go down for a touchdown regardless. A field goal did them no good. We were up by 4 points. They had to score a touchdown. So we're 4th and 1. We've been moving the ball. In the fourth quarter, we finally started moving the ball. Push. Quarterback sneak. Josh Jacobs, something other than trying to kick a field goal that was meaningless. And if it wasn't for the defense, Green Bay would have scored a touchdown, and Amik Robertson actually saved us the game. Because if he did not get his 5'9" butt up in the air 4 feet and snatch that ball out and snatch victory away from Green Bay, that receiver from Green Bay was going to come down with that ball, score the touchdown, and they were going to win the game. That's all it is. Amik Robertson saved us the game. Now, Amik has been burnt on many a plays. He's had a lot of haters, and there have been people saying, move on from the guy, whatever. But I'll give it to you, this one thing to Amik. That dude is a dog, and he plays hard. He needs to improve in some areas, but that dude saved us a game. We would have had a loss without Amik last night. Or Monday. Sorry, I'm a day late. Anyway, so that's my take on it. I think, to be honest at this point, I think Mark Davis was so upset, and you even seen him in the stands yelling out some explicitives about Josh McDaniels' play calling. But I think if we would have lost that game, I don't think we would see Josh McDaniels in the building this week. I think that would have been the end of it, and I think Patrick Graham would have become the interim head coach. I think at this point, Josh McDaniels is not a good head coach. He may come up with some good offensive schemes and whatever, but to be honest, it's not even Josh McDaniels, man. Everybody says this dude's an offensive genius, but who did he have? When he was not with Tom Brady, the winningest quarterback in history, when he wasn't with him, he did absolutely nothing. Nothing. He can barely win games. So was it him or was it Tom Brady? I'm going to say it was Tom Brady. And with that, I'm going to sign off. I will see you guys in the next video.